I hear you niggas talk, well let me talk too. You screaming you killing niggas, well I'm killing too. Lyrics pistols, whatever you wanna call it. Females you think they love you, no they love you cause you ball. Set aside.
This is the only reason for gunplay. What's up, world? Thank you for tuning in to the Real Talk 101 The Gangsters channel. Here we go again. Now, as I was talking about the Asian attacks, how the media, aka the fake news, all those jabonis, in the words of The Rock, they tend to try to create this narrative, wants to make people think that we are beating up the Asians. As I stated before, who's going in Chinatown bullying the Asians? Who's that bold enough? It can't be us. So they got masked people walking around with masks. They got the camera on them, but you can't see who they is. But you see they look like black people. And it might be these people, as I stated before a long time ago, when I was talking about those who's doing those killings in Chicago. You know, we recently had a bank robber who had a mask on his face that appeared to be a black person's face. So now as the cover's being pulled to see who are the constituents of this Asian attack, trying to again blame black people. And I told you all before, mind control is real. They've gotten down to the science to even create a narrative to make the whole world look at us as the bad people, where in fact the only bad people are those who are in charge and those who are pulling off these stunts to try to make it look like the bad people are the black people, when in fact they are the ones. So however else would they want to pull those stunts to have masks that looks like a black person's face covering up their true identity? And here we have what's been going on for quite some time, the white privileged who commit these crimes and who have the slave catchers to back them up when they find out who the one who pulled that stunt and to killing those people in the spa. Right from the beginning, I believe everybody was thinking, yeah, them black people doing it again. But pulling the cover off, we find out it's an Edomite, aka the red people, who's actually pulling these stunts off because they are the color of what they tend to be, blood. Anyway, now I want to play this footage that I got from the media, and I want you to listen to the wordplay they use when they are discovered of being the killers.
This is still early, but he does claim that it was not racially motivated.
Officials said race did not appear to be behind the attacks.
He apparently has an issue, what he considers a sex addiction, and sees these locations as something that allows him to go to these places, and it's a temptation for him that he wanted to eliminate.
The working theory is a sexual addiction issue rather than a racial profile.
During our interviews, we asked that specific question, and that did not appear to be the motive.
But activist and author Helen Zia said authorities are missing important context.
Hypersexualization of Asian American women is part of the racism toward Asian Americans. And to say that sexual addiction is an excuse or a reason to go on a mass killing rampage is ridiculous. He's going to take the word of a mass shooter who happens to be white against the lived experience of the Asian American community.
Zia also said Captain Jay Baker's description of the suspect's frame of mind was outrageous.
And he was pretty much fed up and kind of at the end of his rope, and yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
I couldn't believe that a police captain was recounting the bad day that the killer had without a shred of empathy for the really bad day that the 8 victims and their families had, the incredible grief that the whole community is going through. And this is the kind of thing that makes people question law enforcement and whether they are really there for the people that they're supposed to be protecting.
How lenient they are. And big up to the Asian woman who saw through this deceitful lies that they always do, to try to picture it to make it look like as though, well, he only killed people because he had a really bad day and so and so and so. And this is the stench that we have been put upon us into believing that it is just that. They are having bad days and so on and so on, so they don't want to never label it as being a terrorist act or a act of violence or terrorists or even murder. Here's the clip. Now, as you heard the chief or whoever this guy is, and I wanted you to look at the black face of the black mayor to show you all again that they really have no power for that stunt. This black mayor should have that officer's head for even saying such thing, but because they have no power like they appear to us to have power, and as if black people elected them to be mayor when yet they're not electing them to be governor, I find it highly weird and yet disrespectful to such degree that we will have these people to play these roles that they have given them, to be just puppets, to just be there or the scapegoat for anything else happening. It just clearly displays that the power of the mayor have no power in the presence of whiteness. As you see the picture, it speaks for itself. Look at her. And that goes for the men too who are so-called mayors and all this other stuff that I told you before. Time and time again, they act bold in our presence. But when the whiteness presence come aboard, they bow down as little children. That power, that boastful spirit that they have is no longer there. To just remind us again that they have no power. They are just there because they was put there. To be the scapegoat. To be the pacifier. But in reality, they have no power to call shots, to do whatever they want to do. But the whiteness of this man, he has the power to do such things. And they do that, and they bow down to it. This is a reality. This is not me just making it up. I'm showing you where the picture is 1,000 words, and it's speaking volumes to you in the image. And again, big up to the Asian woman who actually said that's bullshit what he's talking about. We're not gonna call it no, oh, he just had a bad day. Let's call it for what it is. At least somebody can call these people out, because apparently some of our black leaders who are in these positions of power aren't doing it. And it gives another reference to show you that they are black and powerless. This is the reason for the gunplay, for these words that are spewed out against not only towards our black constituents and black leaders and those who appear to be black and so on with like white hearts, but also to pull the cover off of those who are an enemy to us. This gunplay is more like wordplay. Yes, wordplay. To sum up the identity of what is occurring right before our eyes. Yes, this is the reason for gunplay. Real Talk 101, the Gangsters Channel. Holla.